Welcome back to The Explainer. So, today we're tackling something that is literally a massive universal challenge. I'm talking about the incredible struggle of taking our vague, pie-in-the-sky life aspirations and actually translating them into a concrete daily reality. You know, we all have these big dreams, right? But how do we actually execute them? Well, today, we're looking at a specific framework that bridges that exact gap, the gap between what you want to do with your life and what you actually do every single day.
What is your life's core mission? Really think about that for a second. It's a pretty profound question. And it's one thing to, casually ponder this over your morning coffee, but it is incredibly challenging to actually answer it, and it's even harder to execute on that answer. We kind of just get stuck in the dreaming phase, mostly because we completely lack a structured system to pull those grand ideas down into our normal everyday routines.
Okay, let's dive into this. The solution we're unpacking today is called the TIPCAF execution framework. Basically, this is a powerful 6-step methodology that you apply directly to the process of writing and, most importantly, actually living out your personal mission statement. Honestly, this is the ultimate structured solution to living a mission-driven life. So, here's the roadmap. The framework follows 6 distinct steps: think, initiate, plan, communicate, act, and finish. We can actually group these 6 steps into 3 distinct phases, starting with phase 1, the internal foundation. Think of this phase like pouring the concrete for a new house. It requires some heavy, contemplative lifting before you can build anything else. The very first step of that foundation is think. This is all about spending quiet, intentional time defining exactly who you are and what your divine calling is before you make a single move out in the real world. This crucial first step is really all about deep internal reflection. Because honestly, if you don't know who you are or what you're called to do, any action you take is just running really fast in the completely wrong direction. We break this think step down into 4 core pillars: your purpose, your vision, your vocation, and your passion. Picture this like a giant Venn diagram. You're trying to find that totally unique intersection between what you absolutely love, what you're called to do, and how you can actually serve others. You really need to reflect deeply on each of these pillars to understand exactly why it is you do what you do. Moving on to step 2, initiate. This is where we shift from just contemplation to actual action by physically putting pen to paper. And yeah, it is definitely intimidating to stare at a blank page, for sure. But getting those core pillars out of the ether and into a tangible draft, that is a massive psychological shift. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect right away. It literally just has to be written down. All right, that brings us to phase 2, the strategic bridge. We're moving out of the purely conceptual realm now and into practical strategy, kind of like drawing up the blueprints. Step 3 here is plan. This means you need to translate that drafted mission into a concrete, real-world strategy. How do your mundane Tuesday morning tasks actually support your ultimate life vision? Planning requires setting hard, actionable milestones. Like, for example, if your mission involves empowering local youth, a concrete milestone would be actively scheduling 2 hours every Thursday to volunteer. Planning is essentially the math that makes the mission possible. So the crucial point is to look at the contrast between a wish and a plan. A vague dream totally lacks structure and milestones, but a concrete strategy, that ensures your daily roles actively support your overarching purpose. A drafted mission statement is completely useless without concrete planning to anchor it in reality. The plan is the bridge between the dream and the doing. Next up is step 4, communicate. This means sharing your finished statement with trusted mentors, family members, or partners. Actually, take a second right now and mentally identify who that person is for you. Who is your go-to accountability partner? Got a name? Okay, keep their name right there in your head because they are absolutely vital to this next phase. You might be wondering why share this deeply personal document at all? Well, the source material hits the nail on the head here. This builds alignment and creates vital accountability. Bringing other people into your strategy ensures you have someone to call you out when you start drifting off course and, just as importantly, cheer you on when things get tough. You really don't have to walk this path alone. Okay, now we're crossing the finish line into phase 3, the external execution. We are in pure action mode now. We're laying the bricks and putting on the roof. Step 5 is where we act. Your written statement now becomes the ultimate filter for every single choice you make and every daily task you take on. Say a highly lucrative project pops up, but it doesn't align with the mission statement you just planned and communicated. You confidently say no.
You act by choosing only the opportunities that guide your daily work towards your true north.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive evolution of the framework. Initiate was just putting pen to paper to draft the idea. Act is actively sweating those words out through daily, tangible decisions. It is a huge shift from merely writing words on a page to actually bringing them to life in your everyday routines.
Finally, we reach the sixth and final step, finish. This means following through on your specific commitments and bringing tasks to absolute completion rather than just leaving them half done. Listen closely here. Execution isn't just starting things enthusiastically. Execution is making sure your callings are finally realized. To clarify this just a bit further, act is about guiding your daily work, showing up and doing the tasks. But finish is about bringing those commitments to full completion. Because, let's be real, you can act all day and never actually finish a single thing. Finishing what you start is the true hallmark of successful execution. Let's move to and see how this builds when we put it all together. When we step back, we see this seamless, inside-out journey across the board. We move from the internal focus of thinking and initiating, straight through the strategic phase of planning and communicating, all the way to the external reality of acting and finishing. It's a complete evolution from quiet reflection to a fully executed life. So, we've broken the whole framework down. You now know the 6 steps to take a vague aspiration, run it through the TIPCAF filter, and bring it to absolute completion out there in the real world. The only thing left to ask is the most important question of all. What will your mission be? The framework is literally waiting for you. Time to get to work.